What's happening, good people? It's your man Antoine, right back with another dope episode of Coture Conversations. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm excited to be here in this moment because I have somebody with the credentials and just an amazing. I've been checking out her work. All right, so you guys know I don't count when I be talking. But first of all, how you doing? Tell the people who you are.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for having me on. I'm Crystal Starr, and I'm happy to be here. I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. So, okay, let's, I want to dive right in. First of all, tell us a bit about where you're from. Because I looked up where you're from, and I do not know how to pronounce that, but I want to know about this place. Is it La Piente? Is that it? Did I say it wrong?
You know what, you're in Orlando, so there's a lot of Puerto Ricans there. It's La Puente.
La Puente, yeah, and it is a lot, So talk to us about your humble, where you're from, and give us a little bit of info about you.
Yeah, just from the suburbs of Los Angeles, actually. Okay. The city of La Puente. Had a regular upbringing. My parents, my dad, he used to be a singer back in the day. He used to sing with Jackie Wilson back in the day, and used to tour a lot, and then got a family, and then decided to do, change a little bit of his career. He started his own business doing air conditioning and heating. And then my mom is a nurse. She's the crazy Puerto Rican in the family.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so just grew up there, and grew up there. I have two sisters, and it was just fun upbringing. Grew up singing in church and surrounded by a lot of normal people, if that makes any sense.
Cool. So you have quite an extensive resume. You work with some big names like Ariana Grande, Drake, even. Talk about some of your experiences working with, what were you writing for them? Did you write music for them?
No, so with Ariana Grande, I used to sing background for her.
Oh, wow.
Sing background vocals, yeah, and we toured with her for a little bit, and we opened up for, I think, Justin Bieber for a while, and then with Drake, I opened up for Drake with my band, Crystal Starr and the Bow Ties. So just working, with different people, and it just really gives you a sense of, what this industry, or like what it is, what your craft is, and everything, and enjoying your craft, and really what hard work is like. It really shows you what goes into a lot of things, and I think a lot of people in the public don't really get a chance to actually see behind the scenes of, what touring is like, or like what opening for an artist looks like, or why people do that.
Yes.
I've been blessed to do that with a few people, Lady Gaga. I've sung with Stevie Wonder, which was a great opportunity. I mean, I think singing with legends like Stevie Wonder, one of my favorites was Anita Baker. I sang background for her for this one show. We were honoring the Motown greats, so it was Smokey Robinson, Smokey obviously, Smokey Robinson, Anita Baker, Nancy Wilson, Neo, John Legend, a bunch of different people. And it was really it's nice to just actually see, legends doing their thing, and what it takes, the hard work.
I would imagine, because you touched on one thing, and when you spoke on, people get to see what it's actually like, and actually see the work, because as a consumer of music, you look at it and it looks effortless. You know what I mean? When you see a John Legend, it looks effortless, but there's a lot of work that goes into that. And actually, I get to see it a lot because, I deal with a lot of people in this industry as well. And I just got into politics, which is what's going to make me go to the next thing I want to talk to you about. But the thing about that is I'm actually learning and seeing myself. I've been in the entertainment industry. Now I done thrust into politics. And man, I'm telling you, once you get on the inside, it's a whole different ball game from what you see. So I wanted to, I wanted to bring up, I read up on you and I see you walk in your female activism, right? And one of the things that you champion is mental health, which is one of our initiatives. Vote for Melissa Myers for State Representative District 45. People, I had to throw that plug out there. But talk about your experience and your passion for mental health and the foster children.
Yeah, I think that a lot of us go through things that we don't necessarily share with everybody because, when we go through things privately, nobody wants everybody to know for the sake of gossip or what somebody else is going to say about you. And it's a very sensitive side, or like when I think a lot of people don't look at people as we're people rather than untouchable. So like I could talk about this person and it won't affect them, but it does. And I think that being there, not necessarily even for just mental health, but kids in foster care. I started a nonprofit back in 2011 because I had I saw firsthand what was going on in the foster care system by my neighbor who used to take care of foster kids. He used to always come over to my house just to play the piano or to get away from life. And I said, if I can do anything with my gift, let me at least, share it with them and do what I can with the people that I know. And it's really been a blessing for, it's funny because like when I started in 2011, I never thought that I would ever bloom to what it is now. And in 2000, it was literally, sorry, I'm turning up my light because I can't see quite. Okay. It literally started by, I produced a concert for kids, for 300 boys and girls in foster care for Christmas within 2 weeks. And within 2 weeks of Christmas, and just using my, my savings and saying, I just seeing kids that need us be there, being there for them, the greatest joy. So starting out with 300 to now impacting 1 million this year has been really, it's been really like amazing, because I think a lot of people think that their life purpose is their gift or their career, but we're all going to die, and we're all going to, what are we going to leave behind? The fact that we were talented or the fact that we affected somebody else's life. So it's important to me to use my gift for that. Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's amazing that you're saying it. With that type of mentality, and I'm gonna go left field here, because just listening to you speak, have you ever thought about getting into politics? Because you with that type of mindset, you could set some things in motion with a certain amount of resources. Or would you just rather like to stay in your lane where you're in right now?
I stay in my lane. I think politics has its place, and I think that there's a lot of things that I don't agree with in that realm, in that world. I think there's a lot of division and separation. So I do what's best and what speaks best in my world for kids and for people, without the arguments and without the debates on, everybody wants to debate. So I'm not a debater. I'm more of a doer. I'd rather do than debate. I'd rather just stay out of that and be a person who's actually trying to make a difference. So I think that what I do with as well as sorry, my dad was calling. I think that I can do more in my position rather than me being in another position in politics.
Well, you know what? That's a good way to look at it, and I'm glad that you do. You are aware of how things work in politics, and I really got drug into it, and I think I did that because of me always putting energy towards knowing what these politicians are doing. I started learning what the filibuster was when I was like 12 years old. You know what I mean? So even though I try, I'm in the entertainment field. I kind of got sucked in because one of my closest friends is running for state rep, and she
Yeah,
called me on as a campaign manager. And man, I tell you, it's a
that's
different ball.
awesome.
Yes, it is. It is definitely. So you're re-releasing She, right? Did you just re-release?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay, talk to us about Blue Monday, because that's something I wasn't aware of, but through you I'm finding out about it. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, so, after the holidays, well, first of all, the holidays is a hard thing also for a lot of
Uh,
people to go through. Like, for me, it's one of my favorite time of year, but a lot of people have lost people, and
mhm,
you're seeing families get together and get, and it's such a hype thing, like Christmas and New Year's Eve, and it's such all this thing, and then comes January, and it's like there's nothing going on, and a
yes.
lot of people, especially today and age, I think that our youth um, our youth are going through a lot of depression, suicidal things that I didn't necessarily have to go through as much. I went through them in private, but now it's like everybody's doing it on social media. And like, I see a lot of crying out on social media. Even when it comes to some of my friends, like, you'll post that you're crying or and
Mm,
expecting something back. And sometimes the thing about social media is it's a very vague thing, and it can be very superficial. And you know, I think a lot of kids now are reaching out for help in a
mhm.
superficial world.
Yes.
And I just wanted to remind not just only girls, because she is not a song to say that any guys or to put any type of men down or like hoorah about women. It's really a celebration, and it's for all of us to celebrate their moms and their grandmas. And I think it's a time of reflection to celebrate that what we have
Yes.
now and to live in joy at this very moment, because a lot of times we get stuck in our situations and we're not
Mm,
actually looking out to see, wow, what do we have that we can be joyful. My mom just went through COVID pneumonia, and it was
I,
one of the hardest times that I've been through.
I had
Yeah,
that.
it's been really tough.
Mm.
Oh God,
Yeah, I
I'm glad
did.
that you got through it.
Yeah,
It's
and I've had pneumonia before. My medical history, man. I was 2019. Everybody, all my subs know, but I was in the hospital for 6 months in 2019.
wow.
Major, 8 major abdominal surgeries. So I'm a walking miracle. You know what I mean? Yeah, I almost died like
Wow.
4 So when it comes to something like that, I can definitely relate. So that the COVID pneumonia that hit me around June last year, and man, you know, it was crazy because my wife had to have surgery around that time. And so I just was walking around like this, you know what I mean? So I could be there for her. And it, you know, I wound up having to go to the hospital myself. And, that was, I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. So it's
No, no.
definitely stay safe out here. And, but I ain't mean to cut you off. I had to jump
Yeah.
in on that because I'm like, man, I can relate to that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, yeah, it's exactly that. It's, I think everybody gets so caught up in the things and in the world, and like what this person's doing, what that person's doing, rather than actually seeing what's in front of them and what they can celebrate. And I think that, I mean, I was, as a kid, growing up mixed, I'm Puerto Rican and Black, I felt like an outcast. I felt like nobody was like me and stuff. But um even like my husband, helps me to realize, celebrate the things that you have and that you're great at and that you are loved by. And then everything else will disappear. It doesn't matter about those other things. And I think that that's why she is such an important song, because it's a celebration of your mom and your grandma or your sister or your best friend, if she's a woman, or your wife. I think that as women, we endure a lot. We have to pick up the pieces a lot. And we do it sometimes with a smile on our face. And there's a lot of single mothers out there. My mom, my dad is in my life. He's always been in my life. But, you know, there's a difference when parents are separated and your mom is there with you all the time. So, you know, it's just those times when you want to celebrate them for just when you're going through a bad day, and who can you reach out to? The first thing you would think about is your grandma or your mom or your sister or your wife. And yeah, I mean, even my dad, like I have the best husband in the world, the best dad in the world. But when I think about like tender love and care, and I think about my mom. Yeah.
Definitely.
So it's about thinking about, and so that's why we wanted to release it, because it's like thinking about that of what you have rather than that of what you don't have. And I think a lot of times we do not I lost my train of thought. A lot of times we celebrate those after they have left, and that's because we're not being present in the time, in that moment of being joyful and soaking it in every single moment that you have with this person, even if it's a good day or whatever. Just being joyful in the moment that you have this person, or you have whatever it is. And that, I think sometimes it's too late when we don't appreciate those who are around us, or you know, what we have. If that makes any sense. So
yeah, definitely. But you know, I dig all that. You know, I'm just reflecting and thinking about things as you're talking. That's why I like doing these right here, because you get so much good game and so much good, you know, good vibes and conversations talking about things like that. Because I out the blue called my granny the other day, you know, and I can tell it made her feel so good, because nowadays families are so separated. And you know, just to hear her voice and how she lit up. And then my mom happened to be right there with her. So, you know, mom was like, "Hey, boy," I was like, "Hey, mom," you know, it was a great moment. Yeah, you gotta, so you gotta celebrate them and cherish it, because these days, the way things are happening, you know, you just never know when you're gonna lose somebody. But on a lighter note, I want to talk about this record, All Mine, because I love that video. I love that song. That song is just like so vibrant. Talk to us about that record, and it's just so bright. And, you know, tell us about that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I wrote it during the pandemic, actually, because I've been touring and traveling and singing for probably like 10 years straight without a break. And during the pandemic was the first time that I was like, I can finally get a break. And so I taught myself a new trade. I taught myself how to produce. I taught myself how to play piano during the time of quiet. And All Mine was one of the first songs that I produced on my own. And
that was your first. And
that was my first song that I produced on my own. And then I took it to my guys, Biscuit and Butter, and they did their thing on it, and with the production and everything. And I wrote it with my friend Courtney Janae, who's an amazing artist as well. But the reason why I wrote it was because during the time, it was like the whole George Floyd thing was going on. The world was just in mass. We didn't know what was going on. And I just really wanted to go back to the time where things were regular, and I was dancing in my kitchen, just having a good time and not thinking about anything else in the world. So I had to shut off the news. I had to shut off the TV and just like close my door and just live in my own little world. And All Mine was birthed through that. And it's one of my favorite songs. It's like, it's one of my favorite songs because Definitely one of my favorites.
Not too long before I was getting ready to get on, I was having dinner with my kids, and I showed them the video, because I keep them into everything that I'm doing, and I showed them the video, and my son was like trying to like it 100 times. He's like, I want to like that video 100 times. So yes, it just has that feel. It has a big inviting feel, like let loose.
Yeah.
And, you celebrate that person that you love. So I really love that record. You know what I mean? So you guys make sure y'all.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure you guys have that record in this article. I'll make sure you guys have the video, all the links and everything, so y'all can go check that out. But you're getting ready to release a new record, right?
Yeah, so on February 4th, February 4th is we're releasing another single called Head Over Heels, and that was produced by an amazing producer and drummer and musician, Keith Harris. He is one of the musical directors with Black Eyed Peas, and he produced Fuego. Yeah, he's amazing. And so we started working together. We did a few songs together too. And Head Over Heels is basically about all mine, and Head Over Heels are my top favorite for sure. And he just understood me, and so we vibed really good, and Head Over Heels was birthed, and it just really I'm excited for this one to come out. I really
we're gonna make sure
February 4th.
Yeah, February 4th. So listen, y'all be looking forward to that. Y'all know I'm gonna make sure, because once I lock in with you, I stay tapped in with you, and I make sure that my subscribers know about everything, your every move. So listen, I really want to take the time out to thank you for you're beautiful too, man. The husband, lucky man, man.
Thank you so much.
So yeah, if anybody had back in the days, if they had anything to say, I know they looking crazy right now. I know anybody, if y'all was out there acting like that, y'all looking crazy right now, because she is stunning. So, yes.
Thank you so much.
So thank you for your time.
I appreciate it.
Are there any shout outs you want to give a shout out, or tell the people where they can follow you, find your music?
Yeah, you guys can find me on, I'm always on Instagram, Crystal Starr Music. It's with 2 R's. And you can, my website is crystalstar.com. And I'm always on there. I always see my fan. I'm always trying to respond to all my fans and everything. So I do it as much as I can. And yeah, thank you guys so much for having me today. Just keep streaming everything. February 4th, it helps. I would say that supporting my music also supports kids in foster care. So support, so we can do more with kids,
Yeah, for the children, man. I got children that do children out here. Yes, man.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, listen, you guys already know I'm gonna have everything for y'all, so y'all can go and y'all can check her out. And this was great. It's another great connection for Apex Couture magazine. So you guys be looking forward to this new music.